Hey, this is Evan for my final share in Education 225. I've learned quite a bit in schools and society, but there are a few parts I think I've learned the most from. And the first was probably with the interviews with the teachers for the iSearch. I interviewed my favorite teacher I had in grade school, Mr. Smith, and he was able to tell me the exact model he used for classroom management, not magic, the Frederick Jones model. And by this model, he manages the class by proximity. Like the closer he is to a trouble spot, the less likely there is for trouble to occur, in his words. Uh, and in my observations of the kindergarten class, Deborah Ryan's kindergarten class, uh, she used a similar system. Um, and looking at things from a teacher's perspective rather than that of a student, I realized that teachers who make sure the kids are enjoying themselves in class are those who have better control of their students, fewer discipline problems, and those whose students make better grades. Uh, I interviewed my mom. She's another teacher, and her words, in her words, kids can tell whether you like them or not, and if you don't, you have no business in the classroom in the first place. If teaching is something that you should be doing, you shouldn't have too many discipline problems. Um, but another really important thing that I learned, uh, well, it's not something that I learned, I guess, so much as something that I saw. It was in Deborah Ryan's kindergarten class. The kids were all extremely polite. None of them ever talked back or argued, and they all got along really well with each other, and they just genuinely seemed to want to learn. And I know that that's very different from what I saw in my high school experience and even into middle school. The kids just didn't seem to be interested in being there. They all wanted out. And I think that somewhere in between not middle school, somewhere in between kindergarten and high school, the kids just stop wanting to go to school. And that's really a big problem. But I don't think they stop wanting to learn. It's just they stop wanting to go to school. And I think that an effective teacher needs to be aware of this. Um, I feel like the best way to get students reinterested in the classroom is to have a more leniently structured curriculum. Like, for example, if the kids had to have a certain level of reading as a requirement for the class, not a certain level of reading, like a certain level of books read as a requirement for the class. Give them a selection of books to choose from, but not one specific one that they all have to read. Uh, or instead of due dates, you give relative times you want the work turned in, and maybe bonus points if they're turned in on time rather than for being late. Because if the kids feel like they're being punished too much, they're not going to want to go. Uh, and I also feel like a system similar to those in other countries, without summer vacation and a series of large breaks throughout the year, uh, would really help the students learn and retain what they learn, and also help the students not really view the school as a prison and more of a place uh, that they can just learn and be part of their life and that they would greatly benefit from. Uh, but yeah, the most important thing that I think I've learned in schools and society is that teachers need to make sure that the kids enjoy their class, because if they aren't having fun, they won't pay attention, and if they aren't paying attention, they aren't learning. So, yeah, thanks.